Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Sunday Night Cop. This is the Talkin Kop. I am Gav. This is Emmet. This is Keith. We would have been starting around 6 minutes past 10, but Keith come on at 2 minutes past 10 and went, just start the fucking show. He's not in good
Sick of your
form.
tardiness. Sick of your tardiness, Gav.
Someone bought the wrong milk in the gap or something. There's something going on. Look, Shawnee said, I'd be remiss to ask if Shawnee is on. Willie, mate, funny you say that now, right? Because Shawnee's in the final hurdle here. He reported to us earlier that the yard's starting to time contractions. So, that's all the update we have. If we get anything else during the show, we'll let you know. But we're nearly there. The young shoulders is on the way. So we'll see.
I expect him to be in the chat at some stage.
I expect him to be in the chat going, lads, she's acting the bollocks here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this carry on at fucking 11 o'clock on a Sunday night, But we'll see. Anyway, Liverpool beat Brighton 2-0 at Anfield yesterday. We're going to talk through that. If you haven't seen the match reaction, you can watch it on your YouTube channel, and you can listen anywhere else you find your podcasts. Kev, Ashley, and Chris. Keith, I'm going to come to you first. We can't get away from it. We're going to talk about a bit about the football and stuff like that, but the Mo Salah stuff rumbled on throughout the week.
Stuff.
It rumbles on. He gets left out of the squad for Inter. He puts up the photo of himself in the gym, and you're like, he's done. Forget it.
Yeah.
Liverpool win. Arne Slot reports on the Friday, and he says, look, I'm going to have a conversation with Mo. We'll see where it goes from there. He's back in the squad. And Joe Gomez decides now this is the time to get injured again. The lads are nearly back. But fuck it, I'm going to do it 26 minutes into the game. And funny enough, they take Salah and they throw him on, which is a surprise to me. But Salah plays 75 minutes of the game yesterday. When you add in all the injury time and stuff, he gets 70. Let's call it 70 minutes. Were you surprised by it? Were you surprised by how the week went with that? Or
No, I was more surprised that he was in the squad yesterday. I was surprised when he came on, but I suppose the paucity of options maybe on the bench dictated really what we could do. It was always probably, look, Calvin Ramsey played very well in the cup game that he played, but you're putting him in against a really, really difficult opponent there. It probably was too much to ask. So your only out is probably to put Szoboszlai there for the bulk of it. And anyway, so the fact that Salah comes on probably wasn't a surprise. The week that's been, look, last week lashed Salah out of it. My opinion hasn't changed, to be totally honest with you. I wouldn't have included him. I think there's a deal after being done for him to have a good boy, basically. I think that was, he's not ending his career the way it ended in Liverpool, and I think he was always going to figure, and he was always going to do his lap of honour and clap for the crowd. Maybe I'm being cynical and I'm reading too much into it, but to me it looked like it was just a chance for him to say, thanks for everything, I'm off. So look, my opinion on Salah hasn't changed. I felt he worked a bit hard in the match when he came on. Really annoyed me because he hasn't done it all fucking season. But when he has a bee in his bonnet, he's running around like a blue arse fly. But look, I'm not the best person to talk about Salah because he's dead to me. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
this is where the attitudes come from, Emma.
The attitude. And look, people will be in the chat saying, "Oh yeah, very
start the show so I can slate Salah." That's what I want.
But I don't want to slate him. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to slate him because my opinion on Mo Salah is that he's an absolute legend of the club, and everything he's done for the club deserves the utmost respect for what he's done. But what have you done for me lately? And what he's done for me lately is he sort of found it in and threw his toys out of the pram. And, I just find it really difficult to back down from that. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope he comes back and I hope he scores 100 goals for Liverpool. I just don't see it. I just think that looked like a good boy, a chance to say goodbye yesterday. I don't know what he could have sorted out in a little meeting that couldn't have been sorted out up till then, if he was being thrown under buses and things like that, and how a little chat could change everything dramatically that he'd be staying, So look, I just think it's like I said, my opinion hasn't really changed on Mo Salah since last week. Doesn't alter my opinion of him before last week when he had to miss a week of football, but
It doesn't alter your opinion of him since then either.
it doesn't alter my opinion since then. I didn't like his attitude. I wouldn't have accepted it from any other player, whether it be Virgil van Dijk, whether it be Steven Gerrard, whether it be Alisson, Bobby Firmino, any of them. So I didn't like it from Salah. I thought it was a selfishness that I don't like in a footballer. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. People have different opinions, and people don't agree with that, and that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinions. But for me, my opinion hasn't changed on him since last week, and it looked to me like it was a little chance to say his goodbyes to the crowd. Could be wrong.
Well, Walrus Gumboot 99, great name. Even though Twitter or not Twitter, YouTube are continuing to mess around with these fucking usernames.
Yeah, it's very awful, isn't
it?
It
is, yeah, really. Ori Salah, he says there's going to have to be some pragmatism going on here. He's an asset. Slot and Salah are both professionals who want to win. John Hatton says it'd be interesting to hear from Dylan or anyone else who was at the game. The welcome from supporters didn't sound most emphatic on the TV.
You got the loudest cheer when they called the team.
Yeah, no. To be fair, I was Dylan was kind of messaging just before the game and stuff, and he found it a bit weird. And I don't think I'm speaking out of turn here. He said Salah seems to be warming up on his own.
Yeah, I heard a few
all the subs were warming up, and he was on his own down near the Kop, and then he joined in with the subs. And when he came on, Dylan said when he came on, he got a brilliant reception when he came on, and he said, to be fair, the vast majority of the crowd. Now he said there wasn't anyone booing him, but the vast majority of the crowd were making a big deal out of everything he was doing, and seemed to really like his performance. But you can be the judge of his performance yourself. Emma, look, I think Keith makes a good point there, and a lot of people in there are saying, look, there could be an offer on the table for Salah. It could be a case of, look, go out and play the game. There might be something in the workings. We don't know. But like Keith makes a good point there. What can you do on a Friday morning in a quick meeting that you couldn't have done in the previous week or the previous weeks? You know what I mean? Feels like I don't know anything about this. I don't have any insider knowledge. Why the fuck would I? But I'm a bit with Keith on it. It's I don't want people to think, I'm with Keith and he's dead to me, because I don't think I got that far. But what I'm saying is it's very understandable. For what Keith's saying there, this has gone on, it's blown up, blah, 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 and all of a sudden it feels like they've come to some sort of, look, we'll just do this and let's go from there and let's not make any more big noises about it. I've an AFCON to go to. Or do you think there's bridges being mended? Where were you on it? Because I was surprised he was in the squad, genuinely.
So we did the random show on Friday, and I spoke about.
I heard it went on for about 3.5 days.
That was great.
Yeah.
We were waiting for you. Anyway,
I was out
no, if you listen to what Slot says that he's talked to him a lot over the last couple of weeks. So it's not that they haven't spoken. So the point of what have they spoken about on Friday, that they couldn't have spoken about in the weeks leading up to it. I just think I think Slot and Salah had spoken, but just Salah didn't like what Slot was saying, and that's where this whole relationship breaking down kind of thing. Kanate is on record as saying the manager loves Salah, Salah loves the manager. It was just he was frustrated. I think there was conversations on Thursday, and he was probably sent away and said, look, think over this and then we'll chat again Friday. I don't think they went all the way from last Saturday being told he wasn't in the squad for the Inter game, and then they only spoke Friday. I'd say there was probably conversations held on Thursday. And I know I said on Friday, I think the person that's kind of possibly I found has sounded the most rational about the whole thing is Richard Dunn. Richard Dunn said that he's getting to an age now where he may need to accept that he won't start every game, and he actually takes up a different type of role within the squad. And I think it'll probably prolong his career as well if he's not being ran into the ground all the time. Like, he came on yesterday, and I'm a little bit with Keith. Starts passing the fucking ball, and like I know he's had top assist last year. That's what people said to me. Oh, top assist last year, but there was something different about him, and something has been said or something agreed upon. I don't agree with Keith in terms of it was a good boy, because I think last Saturday was more of a goodbye than yesterday. And he wasn't even the last player on the pitch because Konate was over in the corner giving some young fella his shirt. So, and it's apparently it's something that he always does. He walks around the pitch clapping, but there was no waving or anything like that. So to me, he has a decision to make, and he probably has 6 weeks to mull over it. And that decision is I'm got and Slot actually said, and actually read out the comments after and the post match. He actually said he knows I will use him when I need to use him, and I thought that was really kind of like he up until maybe a couple of weeks ago he'd be a first name on the team sheet. Now he's saying he's going to use him when he needs to use him, which sounds very bit part player. And I think that I think he probably does have to accept that his role has changed. Rush had to play bit part, decided to go to Leeds. Gerrard had the same thing thrown at him with Brendan Rodgers. He decided to go to LA Galaxy. Barnes kind of took a little bit of a step back. Henderson did it. He fucked off in a totally different way. But this comes to all players, unfortunately. And what age did Messi leave Barcelona and go to P? And what age was he when he was at PSG? Was he around about the same age, 34, 35?
Yeah, Messi's 39 now. Is he?
So it's very rare that you
Yeah, about
see
35.
somebody go into their late 30s and play at the highest level. You'll see players that will go off and play for lower teams, like one of the most vocal, Rio Ferdinand. I think he fucked off and played for QPR at the age of 34 or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It happens to everybody. Now, if he wants to stay and be at Liverpool, I think he needs to accept that. Like he might start 19, 20 games of the season, but then he might be on the bench for the other half and he can come on and make an impact. And as he gets older and he's not starting all games, it saves his legs a little bit. Another thing is that he probably should see the World Cup out with Egypt and then probably hand in the old international boots as well to try and prolong his career, because the way he looks after himself, he can go on, but I don't see him going on at a top level team and starting week in, week out. And I think he probably just has to accept that. Whether he has accepted it now and it's all kiss and make up, I don't think so. He's probably said, look, we're going to put you in the squad tomorrow. You're going to be on the bench. You will come on. Slot even said, look, he was my first sub. It was the first sub I used. I'm just wondering whether he'd be whether he would have been on the bench at all if we had more players available. But that's another story. But I just think even in the second...
I think if you're having a meeting and you've kind of cleared things up, I don't think there's a hope in hell Salah's not on the bench.
Yeah,
like if we had a couple more players ready to play, I don't think he turns to Salah and goes, listen, we have Bradley and X, Y, and Z back. You're not in the squad. Like it's never gonna.
No. But what I mean is, have we? Has it been needs must? Have we said, look, we better talk to this fella. We need to have the lads on the bench. We'll just say, look, we're gonna dust things over now, and we'll give you the 6 weeks to mull over it when you come back. But he probably is going away thinking, is he willing to accept a bit part place in this squad? And I think he should, because I do think he has something to offer. Does he have?
But that's
previously to offer. I think we played up on that 26 minutes. We probably looked a little bit better than we did when we came on. That's not to say that Salah changed the whole thing, but you do tend to have to change when he comes on. Second half, he kind of played in between the 18-yard box, and I think we said during the summer he shouldn't be out on the wing. He's too far away from all of the action.
He's not quick enough.
He can't go by a defender anymore. He needs to come in and play. And we've seen it even whether it was last season or the season before. The odd time he sat in there, in and around about the 10. I'm not saying he should be a 10, but maybe playing off maybe Ekitike or Isaac, because he has the strength to hold the ball up and play it off. And that's what he seemed to do in the second half, was he played in the middle of the 18-yard box. And I think that's where he needs to be. He needs to be closer to the action, closer to the goal. My opinion hasn't changed either. I still think it was an absolute disgrace what he did, but people can be forgiven for things, not forgotten. They'll be forgiven, but won't be forgotten. I think the players probably slapped him on the wrist a little bit as well. In a lot of interviews, they were saying what goes on in the changing room should stay in the changing room, as it should. So I think some of them have probably had a word with him. And Konate is the only player that's actually said he doesn't think that's his last game for Liverpool. So I think he's got a decision to make in the 6 weeks that he's away. And that decision is probably, do you want to play a bit part in this team? If he decides, it'll be his decision. If he says no, they'll probably move him on. And if he says yeah, we may see him until the summer and then revisit it.
I think it'll be interesting what he says to the press while he's away as well.
Well, he could sing fucking "Step Into Christmas" by Elton John to an interviewer over in the AFCON, and I'll come back saying I want to leave Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Because it doesn't matter what he says, they just print whatever they want and we go from there. But I know what you're saying.
Well, you see as well, I think, sorry for cutting across you, Gav.
That's okay.
When I said I don't know how they could have patched things up in a couple of hours on Friday morning, I didn't believe Salah saying the relationship was broken down with the manager. I think it was Salah having his toys out of plan. So yeah. I don't think Slot actually seemed to have an issue with Salah. I think it might be up to Salah to be the one to have to initiate being reintegrated back into the team. And as I said, it'll be interesting to see what does happen over the next few weeks. Is there any, wording or interviews? Because it is going to be on everyone's lips.
1,000,000%.
Yeah, when you're away from your club, I think it's easier to sort of throw shade. So if he goes over there and he shuts things down, well, then maybe it's a sign that he is looking to stay and be reintegrated. But it'll be interesting to see which way it goes.
Yeah, it does look. If you look at the timeline of this, Slot does make the decision to take him out of the team and go a different way with regards to formation and set up and make us look a bit more solid. And we've been speaking about that for a couple of weeks, but Slot's continued on and nothing's being said. And then when Salah does that interview, you're like, fuck, what's going on here? What has been said, what's going on? Is there a falling out? And there's been all that. And Slot, I was quite impressed with. I'm not saying I 100% agree with him or his decisions, but I was quite impressed with him the way he handled it. In the pre and post Inter, and then was it Friday morning? I think it was Friday morning. He does his press conference and he's saying, look, I'm going to go out, and he's open and he says, I'm going to go and I'm going to talk to Mo Salah now, and whatever comes out of that, we will go from there with regards to the game on Saturday. And I think the ball is probably firmly in Mo Salah's court. I don't think it'd be as extreme as you're going to be a bit part player at this club. I think it might be the case of, look, everybody can lose form. Everyone can fucking the way we're playing and what we need to adjust mightn't suit everyone. And you might come out, and then Gakpo might come out, or the midfield might need to come out, or I think Konate comes out as quick as he can get him out. But do you know what I mean? And I think there might be a case of, look, things will happen throughout the season, and you'll get a break and he'll get a break, and sometimes it will be because of your form, sometimes it might be saving you for other things, and it's probably in Mo Salah's court now to say, right, am I okay with that? Or is he going to stick to his principle of, and what he said in the interview last week, I think I should play week in, week out. If he feels he should absolutely play week in, week out, and Slot is saying, well, look, you're not going to play week in, week out. And to be fair, there's not many players in this team at the moment that's earned the right to say I'm playing week in, week out, and you're one of them. They're all going to have to take it, and so are you. And if you don't want to, well, listen, we've a problem. I think, you don't want to lose a player going to the AFCON. And I think it's being played down a little bit, what impact Salah can have for this team. I'm not really, I don't mind them centrally, but I think if you get the right movement around Salah in that wide position, I'm not looking for him to tear by defenders anymore. I'm looking for Salah to become that creator off the left-hand side, and I think he can do it. But if you want to be more solid, I understand sticking him up off a front man, because then you're lessening the defensive thing on him. But listen, you don't want to lose a player like that for an AFCON, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it gives everyone space for him to go away, and like Keith said, if he shuts it down and says, I'm not talking about Liverpool, I'm out here to play for Egypt, and goes and plays games and comes back and he wants to play and he's on the bench or he's playing, then we'd see it from there. But I don't know if it was a good boy yesterday. I don't think it was. I think, do you know what? He looked a little bit walking around the ground yesterday, especially when he got near the Kop. He had a big smile on his face and he was kind of clapping the fans, but I think there was a kind of look off and going, yeah, I could have fucked all this up completely if I'd have gone, this could have really gotten away from me here. And I think he looked kind of, grateful that it didn't.
His
But
reaction to Dominic King as well in the mix zone was
yeah,
he was walking and he was kind of messing with his hair and he goes twice in a week. No, no, no,
mm,
no, and just
yeah.
kept going. So
Well, look, we'll have to wait and see. He's going to go away. We'll all be watching for all the journalists from Egypt or where's this being played this time?
Morocco.
Morocco. Grand spot. Sure, it's only the Canaries. Them all is playing the Canaries.
Yeah.
We'll be watching from the stuff from Morocco, and of course the people based in the UK that pretend they're in Morocco and give you all the news as well. 'Cause, you know, exclusives. But then again, pandas and all. Right. I have a comment here, and it brings us on nicely. It was Brian Savage's super chat. He put in a super chat and didn't put anything in, but apparently he put something in earlier. And it's a good way to start. As he said, if Ekitike played in the snow, he would leave no footprints. Emma, Hugo Ekitike, I have to say, like, massively impressed from yesterday, and he's seen out more and more of games as we go on. But yesterday I thought, as a front man in that team, he done everything you could ask him and more, probably.
yeah, he was everywhere. He's popping up out on the left, dropping in to collect the ball. His speed, like ghosting by defenders. I think somebody said it was similar to Thierry Henry. Probably won't go.
Reminds me of Torres as well.
Yeah, his finish was a real Torres finish as well. But he's looking like the 130 million pound striker, rather than the, what was he, 70, 80 million?
Yeah.
He's excellent. His attitude as well, I think, is really, really good. Works hard for the team.
Yeah.
And that's what you kind of expect.
Chucky says there his hunger to be the best is clear.
Yeah, and I think that's what he fell foul of when he took his jersey off, getting that sent off. It was basically, it's Ekitike, basically. And that's me saying it was work rate, and that it's not dissing Isak, because we've already established he's probably a different type of player. But for me, it's Ekitike's jersey at the moment, and Isak probably has to up his game. What's that, 4 goals in his last 2 games?
He's 10 goals so far this season, and I heard a couple of stats yesterday saying
first player not named Mo Salah to hit 10 goals before, or double digits before Christmas for Liverpool since
Sadio
Mane.
And he's the first central striker to hit 10 goals, to be the first man to hit 10 goals since Sturridge 12 years ago. But Keith, like Emma talks about it there, he comes off, drops off, gets the ball, gets involved with people on the right, the left, through the centre. You know, ball drops some 40 seconds in, touch, bang, goal. You know, walk those fucking defenders. I'd say Lewis Dunk is like, oh, fuck that. You know, he looked like he'd a pain in his bollocks with it. And you know, you go the other way. Lewis Dunk, who's not getting any younger, and he turns up against Ekitike, and he just wants to fucking run him all over the place. But he was so impressive in everything he done. You know, as a young fella, and people will go on about Isak and stuff. And someone said earlier in the chat there, the whole no pre-season thing can only last so long.
No.
Listen, I'll keep saying it until, you know, I'll keep saying it. I don't know how long I have to keep saying it. Liverpool have to play a certain way for Alexander Isak, and it's service, right? Ekitike is different. He can drop off and do that thing, and that was needed yesterday. But when it comes to Ekitike, so I just thought, I'm not going to say Fernando Torres vibes up, because Fernando Torres was out of this world for the first couple of seasons at Liverpool, but he had a look at Fernando Torres up, didn't he, Keith?
Yeah. That's how I get. I get the Torres vibes off him, and I know you don't want to be comparing them, rushing to say, oh, he's the new Fernando Torres, but he's got that. He's big. He's 6'2", 6'3", but he's very quick. He's a flyer, and he attacks players. Now I think he's suffered because of Isak, because I think Slot. People think we just throw rose petals at Slot on this show all the time. We don't. Like, I think Slot's made the balls of it with Ekitike to an extent, because he shoehorned Isak straight in whenever he could.
Yeah,
and
he stuck Isak in for 6 games in a row, and it didn't need it, didn't it?
No, he didn't. It should have been Ekitike playing, and if you're giving Isak 30 minutes at the end to try and just sort of work his way in. Instead, it seemed to be the opposite. It was, no, Isak's the man. And look, we paid 82 million or something for Ekitike. It's not like he's some chump. Do you know what I mean? All right, we spent a lot more on Isak, but this isn't some bleeding bum that's just, it's not David Ngog. Do you know what I mean? That's just sort of decided that I'm going to be bleeding an unknown quantity here. This guy is, I would say, probably the most sought after young striker in Europe in the summer, and we got him. 23 and under. I'd say he was probably, out of all of them that were going, he was the one that looked like he had the highest ceiling. I know other strikers have come to clubs and have scored goals, probably more. I don't follow sort of what Gyökeres has got for Arsenal, or Sesko for United, or Voltemade for Newcastle. I know Voltemade's got a lot of goals, but I don't know where he stands compared to all them. But you take the situation into it, and it's like, well, he's had a different, he's been dealing with a shit sandwich since he's come to the club, and he's trying to make the most of it and make the best of it. And he's a player that can hold his head up and say, I've come in here, I've come into a new league. Yeah, it's physical, it's fast, but that suits me, and I'm going to make the best of it. And I think he is doing it. I think he looks like he's the real deal. He's got an arrogance and a cockiness that I think a lot of French players sort of have, without generalising them all. But he does have that sort of arrogance and swagger that give him the ball. Different to Isak, as you touched on, Gav. Give him the ball, he'll come and get that ball deep, and he'll drive at them. He'll run with pace and power at defenders. He done it yesterday. He got the ball out on the left wing and just ran inside, and then scuffed the shot into the ground, and it went wide. He looks, I'm not saying we shouldn't have signed Isak, but if we'd have bought Ekitike +1, I'd have been happy. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's Ekitike is, Isak is nearly, how the fuck do we fit him in now? Do you know what I mean? Because if we try and shoehorn him in when he's not ready.
I'll tell you how you put the two of them together.
I would put the two of them together, absolutely.
If you're gonna play Salah off Isak, I'd play Ekitike off Isak. Like, genuinely, and I know that comes yesterday as a result of, we lose a fullback, we have to put Szoboszlai in, and then as the game goes on, we're kind of shifting people around, and Salah ends up going in kind of more centrally, and Chiesa's out here and stuff like that. But honestly, I think he's walking for me towards the two of them, and the reason being, I think if he can get a back four in, right, and he can get three central midfielders and a Wirtz, I think he nearly go away from the winger. I genuinely do.
I think myself for that, Gav. We don't have
wingers. I think you might actually go away from the winger. I think you could even see Gakpo. I think you could even see Gakpo becoming a man that plays off a front man. Or in certain games, you will go with wide men, and you'll push a Szoboszlai out there, and you'll push a Gakpo if you want to set up a certain way. But there's little things in this makeup of this team. Even when he's having to make changes, it would have been very easy for him to make changes and go, okay, I'm bringing off Gomez, I'm putting Szoboszlai in there, I'm putting Salah in there, I just hope he walks and we keep a shape. But he could have went on there yesterday and went, right, I'm going to take off, the wild player and put a wild player on. I'm going to take off this player, but he doesn't. He starts putting players on and starts shifting towards nearly like a 4-4-1-1. But one of the men in the four is an attacking type. It's centrally. Plus you had Salah. Plus you had Isak. I think he is walking towards. I think he's walking towards the two of them. And I think by looking at Ekitike and saying he can stand up against defenders, or he can just pull them around the fucking place. Like, imagine Lewis Dunk yesterday if you told him, listen, Ekitike is going to do that to you. Plus, there's a fella going to be running in behind you as well. I think he would have just went, listen, now I'm off, lads. And I think that's what he's walking towards, Keith. I genuinely do.
I agree. I think we've the makeup of the squad now looks like it's more suited and geared to a 4-4-2, whether that be like a diamond or a sort of 2-on-2 box type midfield, because we've got players who can cover them positions that look more natural. Even Salah, I think, looked better centrally than he has on the wing. I think you could play Gakpo centrally, as you said. You could play Chiesa centrally. That none of them are actually good wingers. Do you know what I mean? Like, that none of them are penetrative wingers. It doesn't really tie in with looking to buy Semenyo, if you believe that rumour. But look, I think needs must at this stage. I think if you look even at the likes of Kerkez and Frimpong, would be suited to, bombing on around the diamond, let's say, and getting up ahead of them or whatever. And it looks like a change will work and will be needed, because, as I said, if you've got the two of these lads, you've £200 million plus worth of centre forwards there. Just play them both, because as soon people can be critical of Isak, right? I think as soon as he gets his stripes, he will be flying.
Isak all
Will he ever
depends.
live up to the price?
But
Probably
Isak
not.
depends.
But
Isak is going to depend on how Liverpool play. He's
Yeah.
going to be an absolute mirror image of what. I'll tell you something. If you show me Isak has scored 5 goals in the next 7 games, I'll tell you Liverpool have dominated them 5 games.
yeah,
Isak isn't. For me, Isak isn't the player that's going to come into this team, and Liverpool are playing shy. And now he does it against West Ham, but we're on top in that game. He gets a chance, he scores. Liverpool are on top for the majority of that game. What I'm saying is, when I look, I can't see Liverpool going through this, and Isak's got 5 and 7, and we've gone, Jesus, they've been fucking shy for them 5. They were all 5 goals on the break. Do you know what I mean? I just don't see it. I can see them. I do believe the Semenyo thing as well. The dog even agrees. I do agree with the Semenyo thing, because we all seem to have this thing about when we go forward, it has to be a striker, a right winger, a left winger, and maybe a fella in behind. I actually think it's going to end up with Evert's one side being attacking with literally 2 guys up front, and the one side, as in the right hand side, it'll be more reserved. It will support, but it'll be more reserved, because he has to get Verts into this team as much as he possibly can.
yeah.
And
Well,
an
that's
argument he has to
becoming
get them
evident,
2
isn't
in.
it?
Yeah, 100%.
You have to build the new Liverpool has to be built around Wirtz, and it has to be built around Ekitike and Isak for now. Mo Salah has to take a back seat, and his ego won't allow that, because look, I've been quite critical of him and scathing of him, but he's an ego because he's a superstar, and you don't get to be a superstar without having a giant ego, and he needs to accept that, that there's other players in the team, and if he wants to be successful, he has to cede ownership, for want of a better word, to other players. And another, like, we got that penalty against Inter Milan, and Szoboszlai slotted it, and didn't for a second think he wasn't going to. If that was Mo Salah, I wouldn't have been. I'd have been behind the sofa, bleeding noise covered. So his authority and his what's the word I'm looking for? His control over all things on that team needs to be stripped back a bit. And that's not to say Mo Salah never take a penalty for Liverpool again, or Mo Salah never starts for Liverpool again. It just means that there's other players there that look better equipped at the moment for Liverpool, that Mo Salah needs to fit in with that rather than Liverpool fit in with him. Because another thing that annoys me with Salah, people talk about, we need Trent, he misses Trent, or he needs Szoboszlai playing on that side. If he needs all these players to play well, that's a problem. Do you know what I mean? You just have to get a fucking winger that can play with whatever fullback we have.
Sorry to cut across you. I don't think Salah needs everyone to play well. I think Salah needs a team that's sure of itself, in the sense that we know where everyone's going and we're confident enough to make runs for the sake of making runs. And we'll use you as a decoy, and Salah will use Frimpong, and then he'll see him going, but he'll use Szoboszlai inside him, and they start going back to this little thing. And Trent was part of it, where Szoboszlai, Trent and Salah used to just go over there and play in triangles and just pull teams around the place, and you could see what they were trying to do, and all of a sudden they just get a fullback to move out wide enough, and bang, they're in behind them. Do you know what I mean? Salah needs that. What Isak needs is, Isak needs Liverpool a bit like Salah. He needs this team to be out and going, we're the authority in this team, or in this game. That's what we're going to be. But Liverpool at the moment, but Liverpool at the moment when they have the ball, even at times yesterday, when we have the ball, we look a bit slow, and our decision making in the final third is still a bit off for me. Whereas if you get into a groove, and especially you get Verts on the ball, Ekitike, Isak, and others have to be going, I'm just making a run because this fella will find me. I thought Verts was brilliant, but it's for me, I don't know what you think, Emmet. Is he working towards the two of them, or is it a case of, because I'm not against us finding a way of playing that's really hurting teams, and then saying, by the way, you're getting 60 minutes of him, and then I'm throwing this fucker on at you as well.
Yeah, that thing, I heard somebody say it the other day, and it might be a bit of a worry, and maybe it's not to worry about it, maybe it's planned, but none of our players seem to be able to do 90 minutes. None of these big players that we brought in. I think the next 2 weeks is massive for Isak because, and I'm going to mention the no preseason. It's not a no preseason because of fitness, even though he still doesn't look top of the pops when it comes to fitness. But when you're joining I know he's played in the Premier League, but he's joining a brand new team that played completely different football and who teams actually set up completely differently against compared to when he was at Newcastle. So 3 games a week, which is probably what we've had since he's signed at the end of the start of September, is not very conducive with settling a fella into a team or getting lads used to playing with a certain player. We've got 2 weeks coming up now where it's full 7 days training or 6 days training where they're going to be able to work on things. International breaks as well didn't help things either. It's been very, very disjointed for him in and out of the team as well. Then he had a little bit of an injury. I think we see a better Isak going into January, having worked on stuff on the training ground for 2 full weeks of working on things. I think he could easily play both. I think he could play Ekitike off Isak, or he could play with Ekitike off the left. I think Ekitike could probably do a job. Ekitike could probably do a job on the right, even at this stage. But I think Isak comes good. People saying he needs a new pair of legs. It's just adjusting. Like we've seen what he can do in the Premier League. But
Yeah.
you're right, Gav. You need to play to his strengths, and at the moment we're not.
But look, if you look at Isak for Newcastle, and Davey T's in the chat there, but I could be completely wrong, but when I watch Newcastle, right, with Isak in the team and Murphy and Gordon, whoever it was, didn't really matter. What I saw from Isak was when Newcastle were on top, they got the ball to him in the box. They looked to feed him, right? And when they weren't on top, what they done was they looked to get the ball wide and then look for a wide man to find him on the break, right? Liverpool are doing neither of that at the moment. Liverpool aren't dominating and making clear-cut chances for forwards. And we're not sitting back and saying, we'll hit you on the... Now, funny enough, yesterday, there was a couple of chances there where you go, Jesus Christ, we're on the break. Can you give it to Isak because this is what he's made for? But we're not doing either of them. I've said it all season. We're in a halfway house. We're neither dominating or sitting off and going, right, you beat us and then we'll hurt you. We seem to be always caught in this middle ground where we just can't seem to find the right ball to him. And listen, the squad we have, like, especially up there, if Ekitike is playing well, you're going to struggle if he's going to play one up front to guarantee your spot. So it's up to you. We can't, like, people sit there and go, oh, I hope he's okay, and he come good. Yeah, hopefully he does. But if he doesn't, if the other fella keeps banging in goals, you're not getting a fucking game. That's the way it works. Do you know what I mean? And that's simply how it works. If he decides to go one striker and Ekitike scoring goal after goal, you can't start. No matter how fucking big you are. And
100%.
You can play the two, you can do it. Semenyo, I really believe the Semenyo stuff. I have to say, I really do. But at the moment, I feel like Arne Slot is looking going, right, how do I get Verts in this team? How do I get the best out of the striker? And then how do I keep it solid? And that's literally what he's going to do. And by keeping it solid, he's gone Szoboszlai out that side. But it might evolve. But Isak comes good, he comes good, brilliant. But even if he comes good and Ekitike keeps scoring, he doesn't get the short. But again, you're talking about 90 minutes. Great. 60 and 30. If they don't want to play 90, great. If they're all bleeding. But if we can get Liverpool into a spot where Liverpool are playing to a certain way for Ekitike and then can find Isak in different ways, brilliant. You're going to win loads of football games. Oz Coppoy says taking Verts off in the last couple seems strange. If it's tactical, it's odd. If it's not fit, that's frustrating. Well, the only thing I'd say on that is
only back from an injury.
Before the Leeds game, we didn't think he'd play. Do you know what I mean? And he plays against Leeds and he plays against Inter and he plays there again. It might be just a case of, right, he's done enough. We have to get him off now and give him the week's rest. We've pushed him to the limit because he was out injured him. We kind of have to understand that as well. Keith, can I come back to you and talk Curtis Jones? Because a lot of people in the chat there are saying how impressed they've been by him. He has been really good.
Yeah, he's been excellent in the last week. I think Curtis Jones is a player who a lot of fans are divided on. I think he's excellent. he's had thrown against him that he takes too much out of the ball. He doesn't release the ball quick enough. Over the years, we've seen him gradually sort of develop that to the extent now where you want to give him the ball because he holds onto the ball. He doesn't give the ball away. He's very, very good at that. And I heard on another show on the Anfield Raps they were talking about him, and he made a great comment saying, fear is contagious, but so is sort of confidence. And he's coming in there confident. Give him the ball in tight spaces, give him the ball in any situation, and he'll hold that and he'll work it for you. Reminiscent to how Genie used to be for us as well. Give Genie the ball and he'll look after that and he'll move you up the pitch. Again, this comes back for me to the shape and system that we're playing. If we look at
Chockley says the same. He says the 4-man midfield suits him.
Absolutely, because if you look at it, like Gravenberch was good at the start of the season, tailed off a bit, coming back a little bit. McAllister hasn't been great. It's okay the last couple of games, I thought, but nothing spectacular. But he gets in and does ratty little tackles and wins the ball back, and his new role seems to be just buying free kicks. But he's doing well. I think
with the extra body in there, have you not noticed that he seems to be the one that when they all kind of set, when we have the ball, we're kind of going, right, he's here. Jones seems to want to just wander. He'll just wander and go, here, just give me the ball. I'm going to be the extra man here against any potential press. And he's looked really good in that as well.
Yeah, I think he's been excellent. And I think if I was to pick a strongest team now, I would not have McAllister in it. I would have Jones in ahead of him. And I'm a huge McAllister fan. I just think Jones would be one of the first names on the team sheet for me currently. I think he's very good. Now, look, he can have dips in form, but every player does. Like I said, I've slated Mo Salah because he's had a dip in form. Cody Gakpo's had a horrendous dip in form. All players do. Good players do. And Curtis Jones is no different. I'd like to see him score more goals. I think he has it in his locker. But he's becoming a much more all-rounded player because if he has to go to right back, he can do it. If he has to play as a deep sort of number 6, I think Ashley said it there, he'd be calling out for him in the double 6. He can do it. He can play in a free role. He can drift forward. He can play from the left. He could play from the right. I think he's an excellent all-round player, and I hope to see him continue that because the worry with Curtis is every time he gets a little run of form like this, he'll pick up a niggle.
Yeah.
And
someone will poke him in the eye or something.
Well, that's it. It won't be a traditional injury.
Yeah. He's 100% stubbing his toe on a Lego or something. It's definitely coming, isn't it?
Yeah, on his head when he was getting his perm done.
Yeah, there's something fucking going on. He's walked into a plain glass window or something. He's 100% happening.
And he seems to be, when he keeps him out, it keeps him out. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't just get the little one. So I'm hoping, touching wood, that Curtis Jones can keep the form up because I think he's a great player. I think he's excellent. And I think we need, like I said, players that will look after the ball and will carry the ball. I think he's going to become so important for us. And you touched on it about Isak and Ekitike there. If you're playing well, you should have the short. And that's been a criticism I've had about our wingers all season, is they haven't been playing well and they've been getting the short. The midfield is no different. If you're not playing well, you shouldn't have a short there. They should be going to the players who are in form. Centre-back is different because we don't have another centre-back. I reckon if we did, I'd say Welity Lucky could be close to getting a bleeding nod ahead of Kanate up until the last couple of games maybe, but we don't have the options.
He's not the fella that comes on all the time and gets sent off.
No, that's Nallo.
Nallo.
Yeah. But I think, other than the centre-backs where we just don't, the right back, we've sort of been messing about with that as well, trying to, paper up a few cracks there. But in general, we'll have 2 sort of right backs, we'll have 2 left backs. Who, by the way, I must say, Kirk, as I thought, been excellent.
Done really well.
Quietly, the last few that he's been involved in, I think he's improving.
I think he's improved because he's been released a little bit.
Yeah.
Because when we go in, like, when I look at Jones, right, just staying on Jones for a minute, I think Szoboszlai is huge in this because when we go in with a back 4 and Szoboszlai is out on the right, and then you have Jones and McAllister and Gravenberch, right, and then you have Wirtz hanging about, and you have a striker and whatever you have, right, and your left winger. What's key here is Szoboszlai just seems to drift ever so slightly inside, which attracts the opposition. And then Jones just goes, Grant, they're all marking right, and I'm just going to step into these different spots and pick up the ball. And I'm going to move us. Because last season, Gravenberch was great at dropping a shoulder, moving by someone and getting us out and getting us moving. But teams are obviously just pinning on Gravenberch now. You know, they're pinning on Gravenberch and they're looking to expose McAllister in contact, really. So Jones is actually just looking around and going, there's the space, give me the ball. And he's not doing anything amazing with it. He might just knock it out to a left winger. He might just knock it forward a little bit. He might just run 10 yards with it and then pass a square. But what it's doing is it's getting teams to reset all the time. And with Kerkez, there's a little bit more of a license to go there and a bit more willingness to use him. And I think that's being huge for him because he was literally playing Ring a Rosie with fucking Virgil van Dijk for the start of the season. I was like, what? You know what I mean? There's no point in signing that player if that's what you're going to do. If you want a steady fucking left back, go and sign Dallo off fucking United and just get him to stand there. Do you know what I mean? Just get him to stand there. But it doesn't work. Sorry, I want to call this now because Avo says, any Aussies in the chat or anyone who has friends or family over in Sydney, I hope the traumatic goings on earlier hasn't affected any of you. My thoughts and prayers are with anybody affected by it. Of course, this is the attack at Bondi Beach, where there's I don't want to get the numbers wrong here, but I think there's 14 or 15.
16 last
16,
I heard, yeah.
16 people have
with
been
40 odd people in hospital.
Yeah, and they range from 10 years of age up to 60 or 70 years of age. It's horrific what went on there. I think one of the assailants was killed. The other one is seriously injured and is being taken away.
Father and son.
But look, I'm not going into the absolute details of it, but it was horrendous reading it today. And if there is, I presume.
We have a few Aussies.
Yeah, we would have. So listen, if you're watching in Australia or you're listening from Australia when this comes out as a podcast, our thoughts are with you and everyone in Australia at the minute, because that sort of shit shouldn't go on. It really shouldn't. And again, it's down to fucking religion by the looks of it, and your religious beliefs, which is just fucking off the chain. It's just so fucking stupid, to be honest with you. So yes, if you're watching from Australia, our thoughts are with you at the moment. Let me see. Where do I want to go next? Oh yeah, can I just ask you the Christmas question?
Absolutely.
Right. Okay, so Christmas means sweets. Before we get back to the football in a minute, but it always means sweets, doesn't it? Right. So I'm sending you to the shops, lads, and I want you to buy me your top 3 boxes or tins or fucking whatever of sweets. Which one are you going for?
Is there more than 3? Oh yeah, maybe there is. Yeah.
What do you mean? Is there more? There's loads.
Yeah, there's quality sweets.
Sweets / chocolates. You know the sort of
quality street and roses are proper 80s, 90s, aren't they?
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, bang! Miniature heroes, celebrations.
They've sort of come in and taken over, haven't they? The heroes, the celebrations.
The new
can I throw one in? Ferrero Rocher have to get a look in.
Again, that's an old school one. And the Ferrero Rocher are the prawn cocktail of the Christmas confectionery world.
They're fantastic.
They're from the 70s.
Yeah, well, I loved them.
Oh yeah, Coyle Crandall says there the Lindor truffles, love a bit of that. Yeah, little Linds.
Yeah,
love them.
Yeah. Neo Geo says the Ferrero Rocher pyramid. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Dylan got one of those for Christmas, I think. Was that's what you said on the show on Friday? He's got a pyramid for Christmas.
After 8s.
I love after 8s, yeah.
Yeah.
Love after 8s.
They're proper 80s though.
Are Terry's chocolate orange Christmas, or are they just
we were milling them on the show on Friday.
Huh?
Ashley tried our first one on Friday on the show.
The orange one?
Yeah, and then Dylan fucked off back to his fridge and he got one out. I was the only one sitting here like a tick without one. But Ashley said
the mint ones are unbelievable. The mint ones are unbelievable. So Ferrero Rocher get a show.
Ferrero Rocher has to get a show. Yeah.
What about
the Lindors? The Lindors are definitely.
The Lindors, yeah.
Yeah, roses.
And you put them in the fridge or do you leave them out?
Which?
Lindors.
They don't even see the fridge. They're milk as soon as they're
I'm a huge fan of chocolate from the fridge, I have to say.
Yeah, same here. I don't
huge
like it
fan
out
of
the fridge.
But it depends. No, it depends now. Like a double decker from the fridge, I'm not having a bar of it. Just not for me.
It's hard work, like.
But
it is. It's a bit of a fucking slog. Do you know what I mean? You have a headache eating that. But what were the other ones? I don't know whether they're Christmas or when there's a family member about. An older family member probably give it to you at Christmas. What he called emerald, something emerald.
The
chocolate.
green cocoa yolks. Yeah, they were the business. Yeah,
I'm a big fan of them as well.
Again, they still exist. I have to Google that.
Oh, yeah, they have to.
They're like a dark chocolate with toffee in them, isn't it?
Anyway, I
think they're milk chocolate, but they might have coconut in them.
I'm gonna narrow this down for you, right? You're sitting in the sitting room Christmas night. You're sitting down and someone says, "Yeah, I'll give you 3 sweets to watch the next program or the telly with. 3 sweets. What are you having?" So if you're going roses, you have to pick a particular one out of the roses.
Ooh.
3 sweets. Come on. Polly says
I'm taking
Toblerone.
indoors. Yeah, loving now Toblerone.
Yeah, I'm a big
fan. 3 sweets. It's hard. On the similar values, I think in there. What do we make of selection boxes now? Having scandalously small size.
They're not selection boxes anymore.
In them.
They're not.
They're not selection boxes anymore. They really aren't.
Minis.
I'm definitely having a Ferrero Rocher.
Yeah.
And I tell you what I'm gonna have, and I don't give a fuck what any of you say. I'm having a walnut whip.
Walnut whip.
Yeah.
Controversial.
I'm gonna have it. Walnut whip.
Don't know what they used to be either.
No, because there's 2 different makers of them now. You see.
Yeah.
Yeah. One's just called the whip, not called the walnut anymore. They don't even put the walnut on it. It's just called a whip. And I'm having a Ferrero Rocher. I'm having a walnut whip, and I'm having the little triangular green fella from the Quality Street.
What's he now?
It's truffly as well, isn't it?
Truffly, yeah.
Is it? Yeah. Like a praline truffle.
Yeah, praline. That's it. It's more praline.
On the ball, Keith. On the ball, yeah.
There you go.
That's
can I ask about your Ferrero Rocher? Like, do you just throw it all in the gob, or do you bite it in half? And
no, I
lick the soft chocolate out.
Do you know what I do? Do you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I look at the packet and I go, there's loads of these here. I can vary the way I eat this, right? Do you know, like, if you get one, you're like, oh, I fucking really try and enjoy this, I'll just go for it. So yeah, it just ends up with a fucking heap of wrappers around you, and you've tried every other way to fucking eat it. So it's a huge variety there, I would say.
I don't know which one this one comes in, but it was always the biggest sweet in it, and it came in a blue wrapper. And you bite into it, and there was like a walnut in the middle of it. Like, it was in a tin of sweets. I don't know whether it was roses or whether it was...
Was it like the hazelnut, the big hazelnut in the...
Yeah.
It was a blue wrapper. It's a Quality Street. It's a Quality Street
purple wrapper.
Purpley blue wrapper. Yeah. Yeah, I
so
like them.
Anyway, we're showing our age here. We're only talking about a trifle, for fuck's sake.
Can't beat a finger of fudge.
Well, you know.
They get left. They get left.
No, and we were talking about this on Friday as well, and bounties. I
thought that was a euphemism for a minute, to be fair, but
having a good day on Christmas.
Right, come on, give me the 3. Come on, I'm nailing this down now. Come on, 3.
I'm going to go Lindor.
Lindor, Ferrero Rocher, and I'll have. I will go for I don't know if it's the Rose or the Quality Streets. Again, it's similar to the Emeralds. It's a blue wrapper, but it's like a coconutty toffee type of thing.
It's Quality Street.
Yeah, that's that's my choice.
There you go.
All out of fridge.
Emma, you're having.
I'm a Lind. Are they called Lind? They are Lindor chocolate, but are they not called?
Lind is the make. No, Lind is the make of the company. Yeah. Lindors are the little.
Right, Lindor.
Yeah.
I'll have a Ferrero Rocher, and I will have that hazelnut big chocolate out of Quality Street. Yeah.
Daniel says Turkish Delight. No, I've never had Turkish Delight. Even the looks of them.
It's like perfume.
Davey T says chocolate buttons. The joint chocolate buttons are fantastic, lads.
Do you know what I do like?
Ones with the caramel in them are even nicer.
Yeah.
No, I like the dairy milk into the fridge.
Tea cake.
All over now.
Yeah. Or the snowballs. Remember the snowballs?
Snowballs, yeah. I remember. Yeah, but I remember them.
They're a bit messy.
I remember staying. I remember going to my auntie's one Christmas night, and literally getting sick from eating too many of them snowballs. So I'm a bit turned off them, to be honest with you. Brian Savage says Turkish Delights are rough. Reese's Pieces, nah, that's not Christmas. Reese's Pieces aren't Christmas. You're never getting fucking peanut butter style stuff into Christmas. You just aren't. Anyway, there's.
What do we make a toffee crisp not being allowed to be called chocolate anymore?
What?
I love a toffee crisp as well.
I didn't know that.
Why?
Yeah, they've changed the recipe of them or something, and
So they're just Rice Krispies now.
Yeah, I don't know if they've removed the volume of cocoa or something, or sugar or something like that. So they can't officially be chocolate anymore. It's a bit controversial. Just
Toffee
leave
Crisp,
things the
kind
way
of
they
on
are.
its way out, though, wasn't it?
Oh, I love a toffee crisp.
Yeah, I know, but they're on the way out. But you see, all the bars are on the way out because they're just fucking tiny.
They're making them
Yeah, well,
so small.
that's
Do
true.
you know what I mean?
They're about the size of what a miniature hero or the celebration
Yeah,
was
no,
when they
it's
first came
Yeah.
out.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's no.
Like they're
I'm just not.
scamming it because I always buy the double one in the garage.
Yeah,
Not like a Twix extra or a
Yeah.
whatever.
yeah.
That.
Yeah.
But they're only about the same size as what they were when we were younger, like for one bar.
Yeah, there's Shawnee now in the chat.
Knew
All
he'd
right,
be in
lads.
that chat.
Yeah,
Knew he'd
there he
be in.
goes. No movement yet.
Had
No
enough.
movement yet. There's no movement.
Jacked it in. Love it,
from the
Sean.
last.
Love it.
Just you've called it off till tomorrow. Play suspended till tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
By the looks of it, big air horn went off in the hospital. No, that's it. We're done. Good luck. Right, come on, ladies and gentlemen. Where you all have homes to go to, that sort of thing. Let me see. Back to the football.
Shawnee, with a controversial one before we do. Bertie drank a bottle of aftershave in his house on Christmas Day.
Yeah, Jesus.
Man, Bertie. Desperate times, that, is it?
Jesus Christ. Well, oh, thanks. Let me see. Ashley says the kiddos will give their thoughts on the celebration boxes in our Patreon show. Yeah, I have that. I have got it. It's coming up this week, I promise. I was waiting for it. Break in the week where Liverpool aren't playing, and we've loads of different things coming this week across YouTube and Patreon. I'll tell you before we go. Right, back to the football. Keith, you know, we get that week's break now. Away to Spurs, I think, next week, and they were handed their arse to them at Forest earlier on today. It gives us a chance to, like you said earlier, like as both said, it gives you a chance to look at the squad, get a few players back, work on things, etc. You know, it's not the worst game to be going back to. In Spurs, they look all over the place a little bit, but Liverpool unbeaten in the league in 5. All right, some of them games we should have won. A good win away in Europe. Are we starting to see? Are you confident we're starting to see a turnaround in this, or do we need to put 2 or 3 more wins together to go right? We're back on track here.
I think it's green shoots of turning it around. You know, if we look at the games, Sunderland, we were probably lucky in the end to get the draw. Chiesa coming back to clear one off the line at the very end, sort of rescue the draw for. Even though I didn't think Sunderland were great in the game, other than outside of defensive shape, you know, as an attacking force, I didn't think they were great. Leeds, I thought we were excellent until we had a brain fart, and then the confidence just drained out of us. So the 2 draws in there are, you know, we should have beaten Leeds. We were comfortable, and we would expect to beat Sunderland at home under normal circumstances. But to go to the San Siro and beat Inter Milan was huge because, you know, they've not lost a Champions League game at home in 3 years. I think they're third in the league over, and they could have changed after today. I didn't see the results, but I think they were third behind Napoli and I don't know who it is up the top. Milan, it could be.
Milan, yeah.
Is it Milan and Napoli? So they're doing
Inter
well.
are now top of
Inter, and so
yeah.
You know, they're a good side, and we went over there, and I thought we were excellent. I thought really excellent in that game. You know, it wasn't the case of needs must, and we just get a win. I thought we were excellent. I thought we stopped them playing. They didn't have many chances, you know, other than a header by Latardo. And I thought, you know, the likes of Canate put in a very good performance there, who's been very shaky. So I think, you know, we're seeing gradual improvements. I wouldn't say we've turned the corner. And then, by the way, Brighton yesterday, a lot of people thought Brighton were going to beat us even after the Inter game.
I was nervous over Brighton.
Brighton are a good team. They're a team that have
just the way they're set up always
problems.
Fucking freaks me out.
So we were in the pub one day, Gav. Remember, and having a point, and we got bleeding. Our arse is handed to us by Brighton. We were looking for them to turn it on, and we made them leave the rugby on when we seen the score.
Yeah, that's right.
The rugby back on, John.
Do you want that match on? Oh, fuck that. Leave the bleeding. Gary Owen against Galwegians on there, but
Cork Constitution.
Cork on there. I have a fiver on Cork on.
It was, but they're a tricky side, you know, and you know, they had chances yesterday, don't get me wrong, Brian, but, you know, I think we're seeing better performances by Liverpool. on top of getting the 3 points. But I think it's important to just win. You know what I mean? I think if we can just put a few wins on the board, you move up that table and you get yourself closer to the top lads. And I think if we can do that, the performances I think will come, because I think it'll, we hope the performances will come, but I think it's about integrating the players and settling on a solution to our personnel, our formation, our situation with Mohamed Salah. If he stays, if he goes, there's a lot of stuff still up in the air with Liverpool, but I just think get the wins and then look to improve on the performances, because 2 or 3 wins in a row and you can go from being about 17th to 4th. You know what I mean? And it's a wild season at the moment.
It's crazy between say 4th down to like 14th or something. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
How tight it is, but look, there has been positives in it, and like you said, Milan felt huge. Because you go away there where you're expected to be beaten. Let's be fair, everyone was going to go, we're getting bleeding hockey there unless we show
absolutely.
up. And Emmet, like people are saying there, we need a few more wins. And there's what am I going to call this? Local A, is that what we're going to call him? He said we need 7 points before Fulham away, ideally. But is it enough, Emmet, if we just go and win our next 3 or 4 games, or do we need to see? Listen, we've won our next 3 or 4, but we're starting to look like a team that knows what it's doing, has a plan, is putting its stamp on games. Because that's what I feel like we're missing a little bit. I feel it feels a bit hairy, scary at times, and maybe that's just lack of confidence. And all of us watching the game going, "Fucking hell, we've been terrible. Please win the game." But wouldn't it be nice? Do we need we need the results? But do we need the performance on top of that? Steady, run of the mill performances.
Like last year, we didn't necessarily have performances and we were just scraping some games. This year, I would happily scrape games, but I think we've lost too many for there to not be a performance. So we don't need this to be like, but these are Wolves are shit or they're shit or whatever. I think we have got 3 or 4 games before we have to go to the Emirates. So it would be nice to put a little bit of a run together and give these boys something to think about. When we rock up down there,
I'd love to go. I'd love to go into that Arsenal game going, if we beat Arsenal, we're within 3 or 4 points of them.
Yeah,
I'd love it for the.
I come in. That's not beyond the realms of possibility.
It's not. Well, I don't think Liverpool have it in them to win this title.
I'm not saying the title.
No, but I'd love to
make them think.
I'd love to see us start rocking a few boats.
No, big time. Like, because Arsenal haven't looked tremendous over the last couple of weeks. I think it's 2 own goals they get yesterday to win their game. They're booed off at half time. Like these are supposed to be the best team in the world at the moment, and they're scraping by a team that got absolutely thumped 4-1 by Manchester United last week. So there's cracks beginning to form. I think that I said it early. I still don't think they have the minerals to go and do it. There's not. I mean, Jesus now back in the team is the only one that has gone and won a league, and that was with Man City. And it's Man City that are 2 points behind them now. That was 6, 7, 8 points only a couple of games ago. Same thing happened to us. We were over the hills and far away after the first 5, 6 games, and then all of a sudden it can fall to shit. And I just think there's going to be scar tissue with Arsenal when it comes to being 8 points ahead with 9 to go. They're now only 2 points ahead with 2 to go. They're in for a battle. I think we can be there or thereabouts, top 3. But I'd love nothing more than to go and put a run together. What's it? Spurs.
We play Wolves,
Leeds,
and
Fulham.
Therefore, I'm looking at they're away to Everton. They have a EFL Cup game with Palace. Then they're home to Brighton, home to Villa, and away to Bournemouth. That's their 4 league games in that space. If Villa had been away, I would have been like, that'd be a banana skin. I can't see them dropping.
Yeah, Villa are flying though.
Wolves went there yesterday and put on a performance. Like,
true,
there's nothing to say that Brighton won't go to the Emirates and put on a performance, or Villa. Like, so I'm not looking at them. I'm just looking at.
But that's what I'm saying.
Win our games.
Like what I'm saying. Well, let's put it that way, right? 4 games before Arsenal, right? Just take that as the next 4, right? If we go and win them 4 games, Emma, and we come out and we go, we've been fucking dodgy as fuck here, but we 4 wins. We're delighted with the 4 wins, but we want to see. I'd rather us go out and say, you know, we've won them 4. One was a great game, but we got the better of it. But the other 3 we won, and we won well. That's what I want to see from us. I want to see us being Liverpool. I want to see us stamping our authority on games and going, this is the way we're playing. And it might be different to the way we've played before, but we're really good at it. I want to see the plan becoming really good. You know what I mean? To see a progress.
There needs to be a confidence. What we need to do is we need to build our confidence. I think you're right that there is still a few shaky moments. But Jesus Christ, when we were on that bad run, like it was Leeds. What was it, last week? We one goal and all of a sudden fucking we fell apart. So we've looked a little bit stronger against Inter. We've looked a little bit stronger then again on Saturday. You just want to see that to continue to build and for there to be a certain structure and a confidence in the actual team and just keep building that, because what that then does as well is it goes, oh, hang on a second. We're saying here now, are Liverpool back? Other teams will start thinking, can we actually now go at these? Because they've kind of moved, they've changed their formation. They're more solid now. We need to be a little bit kind of more kind of careful. Whereas previously teams were just going at us and we were falling to shit. Like, so we want to kind of build up a little bit ahead of steam. We want to build back up our mojo as well in terms of teams are actually afraid to have a go. I'd love to win those 4 games and then rock up at the Emirates.
Sound like a young Kevin Keegan.
Yeah.
But it's I think I'm not going to say we're going to win the league, but I think we're not going to be a million miles off it. I think if we can continue on the next 6 weeks, obviously, like Keith said, without Salah, that's going to be very interesting. Hopefully, I think we have Frimpong and Bradley be back because he was only suspended. Possibly Frimpong coming back as well. There's rotation options there. Let's see what's the story with Dom. Is it as bad as it seemed? I think he eventually had to ask to be taken off, which isn't always great. You've got Gomez not really make a difference now if the 2 boys are back, but it'd be just nice to build up ahead of steam. I think going towards the Emirates. What's it, 7th or 8th of January? Yeah. I'd love to. I would love nothing more to do. If we're not going to win it, stop them from winning it, because I absolutely fucking despise them.
You see, I'm massively torn on this because I think they're absolute arseholes. But then again, the other shower of cunts are just despicable as well.
Yeah, but come here, answer me this, right? Who do you hear from when Man City win the league?
Yeah, but that's not the point.
No, it is. It's
not
my point.
No, lad, that's your point. That's fine. But that's because you listen to too many people. Do you know what I mean? Like, genuinely, at the moment,
not to hear Arsenal
well, I could absolutely not hear them. I just wouldn't turn on social media and I just wouldn't hear them. Do you know what I mean? It's either a thing of, you know, who you don't want to listen to a couple of your mates start bang on about it or online, or you go the other way. And I know Shawnee is probably, if he's watching now, Shawnee will go into labour if he was watching now because he fucking hates when I bring this up. But honestly, it's 6 of one, half doesn't do that for me, to be honest with you. It really is. Like, I couldn't. Just in different ways, I think they're deplorable. Both of them, to be honest with you.
I think City being the lesser of 2 evils, because I don't think it means as much as Arsenal winning it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
in the grand scheme of things, we spoke about this 2 years ago when they were 8 points ahead, Gav, and you were saying, "Oh, I wouldn't mind Arsenal actually winning it." I think you've gone, not saying you don't want it, but you probably don't want them to win it. Like growing up, Arsenal was like, you didn't mind Arsenal. They mentally scarred me when Michael Thomas scored that goal at Anfield. But you still respected the way they kind of went about things and stuff like that. They're just a caricature. To me, they're like a caricature of a team now. They're trying to create atmospheres, create songs. His fucking light bulbs, his winded dog, the fucking speakers for you never. It's just cringy, and they're like, one of their fans coming out, and I know he was probably only doing it for engagement, and saying that there is nobody else in the Premier League since David Beckham that can strike a dead ball like Declan Rice, and you're just like, oh my fucking god, he scored 2 free kicks, like in his own 3. We were never that unbearable. I know we used to slag saying the unbearable Reds and all that kind of stuff, but we were not that fucking unbearable.
Not like them.
I'd listen to a United fan over a fucking Arsenal fan nowadays.
I can switch off many of them, to be honest with you.
Take a leave them.
Listen,
Fuck it.
come here. We're all at home, and people in your own house start talking, and you just go, yeah. You just fucking, you start looking out the window and all. Do you know what I mean? Oh, look at that out there. And you can just turn off. So why can't you turn off from these people you don't know? And you don't have to fucking talk to. That's my big thing on it. Anyway, yeah, it's none of our business really what they do. But I understand both sides of the argument. To be fair, is that it? Anything else otherwise?
Well, you said you had a few Christmas questions.
I do. I'm asking you on the football side. I have got some Christmas.
All right, yeah, football, yeah.
Right, are you finished with the football, Emmet? You can tank yourself, cunt. Right. Okay, are you finished now? Keith started off with just start the fucking show. You're all shouting, thought you'd more questions for us. Relax. Are you finished on the football side of it?
The full out there tonight, Gav. It's full meal. We're angry.
Full out there. Right, well, I think we're finished with it. He's refusing to answer me now. He's just fucking...
Here, can I actually... Yeah, okay, go on. It's not football, but fuck me, the wind. What's the story?
The breeze.
Yeah. I've never known anything like it. The amount of times I've had to recover my fucking garden furniture is ridiculous. And my lights are coming down off the front of the house as well.
Well, that's because you didn't put them up properly.
Cable ties.
Anyway, anything else on the football, Emmet, before we move on?
No.
Keith, anything else on the football before we move on?
No, good win for the Reds. As you say, keep it going, keep on getting those points, and hopefully we stabilise and can claw back the gap that's been created. Not to the extent of winning the league, but just to get ourselves back up there and establish maybe as third place is probably the best we can hope for this season. But look, yesterday was another sign of improvement.
Small step.
Just
Davy T is I have to show some love to Davy T. Says, team selection. Well, Newcastle fan says team selection shy, tactically inept, game management crap, poor substitution, losing the dressing room. Jason Tyndall, thanks for the great memories, Eddie. Time is up. I have to say,
man, after me own heart, Davey.
Yeah, Jesus, you and Keith just sit down in the room together. But come here, Davy, just between us, right? Sunderland doing the picture at the end was fucking fantastic, wasn't it?
Are the visitors not even putting Newcastle's name on the scoreboard?
The fucking shithousery out of it was. It's unbelievable.
There's a lot to be said for it.
You have to, Dave. You have to give it to them. You have to give it to them.
But the photograph, that's Newcastle bringing that. That's Jason Tyndall.
Well, Newcastle and Jason Tyndall took a picture
onto that.
They done that at the stadium, didn't they? Be in front of
the away fans. They beat them in the league, so or the FA Cup, or
the FA Cup. Yeah. So they done that. So they done it back. I thought, fair play to Sunderland. Oh, yeah, watching matches there.
Madday's header.
Are they asking about Christmas chocolates?
Header is after playing a bullet header in off the bar. They didn't see it earlier.
Oz Coppoy says Sunderland quietly having one hell of a season. Yeah, they are. So there you go. But they are having a great season. Newcastle, Davey says it there. There's obviously an awful lot of fucking things going on at Newcastle. Anyway, just to let you know, Liverpool aren't playing during this midweek, so it gives us a chance to throw a few shows in there. We are going to look back at the treble season of 2001. We're going to do that on our Patreon channel because we're going to have a look at a few goals and stuff like that. We're also going to do a show, myself and Ashley, where we're going to see how much it's going to cost you to go to the World Cup. And she's going to give you all the facts about how mad this World Cup fucking is and how costly it is and just the amazing stuff going on but around it all because it's fucking mad, right? But subscribe to YouTube, like, comment, all that stuff. If you want to join our Patreon, loads of people have. It's in the description. Try it for a month. By all means, try it for a month. If you like it, great. If you don't, absolutely fine. Anybody that's a paid member to Patreon on the 22nd of December goes into a draw, and if you get pulled out, you will get 6 months free Patreon. So it's worth trying for that alone. Last question, lads. You're sitting down. I'll set the scene for you, Keith. Right? I'll try and mellow you out here a little bit. You're sitting down Christmas night, right?
Yeah.
And you say to yourself, right, I'm going to watch a movie. I'm going to watch a TV program. And at the end of it, I'm going to put on an old tune to just finish off Christmas. What are you watching? What are you listening to?
Christmas night. I love Die Hard, right? It's one of the best Christmas films ever. So I love it, a bit of Die Hard. After that, I would.
Die Hard, the first one. The first
The
one.
fourth,
Because
not the
that is a
second one.
Christmas one.
Both Christmas films.
Both Christmas films, correct.
Yeah, both Christmas films. Die Hard definitely be one. The TV show, there's a lot of Christmas specials do be great, you know, whether it's the royal family, whether it's like Gavin and Stacey or any, they're always great.
Yeah.
But I love The Office, the Ricky Gervais one, so I'd watch The Office.
Right.
And then the music, Christmas night, you want a bit
No,
of a
I'm gonna say, because the music might be affected by the fact that you've been sitting there all evening, you've had a few beers. Yeah. I think that your mood for music can change with a few beers on you. You might want something that you might want to have a good cry at the end of Christmas or something. So you might want to pick one, like, you know. So what are you going for the song? So you're going. What are you going? Hey, you're having Die Hard. You're having.
I'll go Die Hard. I'm going to go with The Office, and then
And
I'm going to have a bit of Kim Wilde and Mel Smith.
Okay.
Rocking around the Christmas
right. Okay.
tree.
You're going party.
Have a
You're
bit
going
of
party.
that. You know, because that reminds me of when I was younger. You know, the 80s, and you would have Christmas parties and all. People would be going around the gaffs with drinking and all that, and I think that reminds me of that sort of time. So yeah, I think that one would do me.
Right.
Great Christmas Day. What a Christmas.
I love Christmas.
I'd probably watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
It's a show.
Yeah, love it.
My wife fucking hates Chevy Chase.
Oh, so she is.
Not a Chevy Chase, man.
No, we put it on a couple of weeks ago. Because I think the young fella watched it down in his nanny's, and she's like, "Oh, put the one on, you know, the Chris one." He couldn't remember the name of it, and he started telling me stuff. I was like, "Oh, National Lampoons, yeah, lashed her on." And my miss was like, "Oh, this fucking prick." But she
is it just Clark Griswold that she doesn't like, or is it Chevy Chase? Like, is it all Chevy Chase?
I'm not too sure. I'll have to confirm that. I'll come back to you on that.
Yeah.
But she literally, she actually said to me, "I like the film, just not fucking him." So I don't know. And I said, well, he's you know, he's a big part of that film, like. Do you know what I mean? But no, it's a good show. National Lampoon's a good show. Go on.
TV program. Oh God. Maybe Only Fools and Horses.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe one of those.
You remind me of a Mrs. Brown type of guy.
It's every year, so I don't even know what Christmas specials are, or even like an EastEnders or something like that, to see like a 737 smashing into the old the what you call it, the
there hasn't been a plane.
That's probably the only thing they
Emmerdale had the plane, yeah.
Emmerdale and Corrie, believe it or not,
it all went downhill when they poorly choreographed Martin McCutcheon dying in EastEnders,
getting a smack of Frank's car, was it?
Yeah. Frank's fucking Granada hitting her at 4 miles an hour, and she died.
It depends if something like that is on, if there's a big thing or a big build up. Now, I don't watch EastEnders. I don't watch Coronation Street. I will watch Emmerdale with Lisa when she's watching it. But that's decent.
Yeah,
but it's a big build up to one. No, it's good. It's a big build up to it. I'll probably sit down and watch a bit of that, and then the song. Oh. I like Shakin' Stevens.
Right.
Yeah, I love it.
Merry Christmas, everyone, is it?
What a song.
Yeah.
Yeah, bit of shaky.
Okay.
Again, 80s party vibes. This is it harks back to our youth.
Well, I'll tell you what, my favourite Christmas song is Step Into Christmas by Elton John, right?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go for it at the end of the night. I wouldn't. What'd you say?
You're a bit older, so you're going.
Might look it, but I'm not. So Christmas film, I struggle beyond Die Hard. You know what? You know when they all go to bed on Christmas night, there's fucking stuff there, and you just go, oh, fuck, they're just sitting down. I'm gonna go with Die Hard with you. I'm definitely watching the Royal Family. Christmas
you're a big
specials.
Royal Family man.
Yeah, just fucking fantastic. And the song I'm going for, I'm actually going to go for the one everyone probably will go for, and it's Fairy Tale New York at the end of the night. Do you know when you're sitting there with the can?
There's no wrong answer.
Do you know
It's one of the last ones they play in the Boozers.
Yeah, but you're kind of sitting there with the can. You're kind of going, I'm going to finish this one as well, and that comes on. You go, yeah, go on. We'll finish this can while this is playing. So they'd be my three. So
my favourite Christmas one is Do They Know It's Christmas? When you're in the pub in the lead up to Christmas and that comes on, that's your fucking headlocking strangers and you're blasting that out, trying to manoeuvre that you get the Bono bit out of it and all. Like it's that's the one. But on Christmas night I've had me fill of that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. David He says Johnny Mathis, When a Child is Born, to round off the night.
Oh yeah.
He loved Christmas FM, all the old shit.
Father Ted, more for Christmas Eve, all episodes, says Shockley. I have them on DVD. I have the box set. It's actually sitting. It was sitting beside me. Probably put it away. Yeah, so there you go. Little Donkey, says Owen Burke, on repeat. So
like your old school Christmas concerts.
One way to clear a room anyway.
I got a few tunes there, a few cans.
I got all these cunts to go to bed. Now watch this. 2,000 miles for the nostalgia vibes. So there you go. Right, that's it. If anyone has any more recommendations, you can throw them at us.
I'll give you a recommendation for the film to watch. It's not a Christmas film.
Oh, I don't want to
I watched the film last night called I Swear. I think it's actually on in the cinema at the moment. It's about that Scottish lad that had Tourette's. We've all seen it growing up in the 80s. There was a programme on BBC about him. And then later, a few years later, there was John Davidson, I think his name is. But this is a film about his life called I Swear. It's actually really good. Your own Maxine Peake is in it.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really good. It's on the old NordVPN.
It's not overtaken Die Hard anytime
soon.
But
no. But I'm just saying, in terms of watching a movie, a good movie to watch, yeah.
David T says Chris de Burgh, When a Spaceman Came Calling.
Yeah.
Who's the other fella that sings at Wimbledon?
Oh, Cliff.
Can't stand Cliff.
Didn't he have mistletoe and wine? Yeah.
He had mistletoe.
I've seen people wanted to ban that as a Christmas song just because they hate him so much. Like, is he that bad? Is he that bad? Sorry.
I can't stand him.
Anyway, once the Reds are winning, we'll have a nice Christmas anyway. And they're not playing on Boxing / Stevens' Day, whatever way you want to call it, aren't they? Which is it's scandalous, by the way. It's absolutely scandalous that they've done away with this football on the 26th. It was fucking perfect the way he had it. He had it perfect. And they've absolutely wrecked it. There was nothing better than going down the pub on the 26th and there was a lot of horse racing on and the football and everyone was in there just having the fucking time of their lives. And they didn't give a bollocks if their horse won because you were like, do you know what? I had to put up with everyone yesterday and now I'm down here having to put up with nobody. It's fucking great.
Yeah. Stephen's Day in the pubs in Ireland is like the fucking last days of Rome, for fuck's sake. It was carnage.
Yeah.
Still is. Yeah. Just no football on.
Yeah. Right, we're gonna go. Thanks a million to Emmet, thanks a million to Keith, and we'll be back. Loads going on. If you're on Patreon at all, you can actually just subscribe to us for free, and you can see the updates every week as to what we're doing. We do a newsletter every Monday telling you what shows we're going to be doing during the week, and it's open there for recommendations, etc., and we'll go from there. But I've been Gav, that's been Emmet, that's been Keith. We've sorted you out with all the football talk. We're not talking about Florian Wirtz and the possible sending off for the other fella, because we're going to do that in another show during the week. We've sorted you out with chocolates, we've sorted you out with films, TV, cans, music, everything. We've done it all. We've literally sorted Christmas, I think. Yeah. Haven't we?
Done our best.
Yeah. There you go. Right, that's been it. Talk to you in a bit. Over and out.
Good.